Hey everyone! Welcome to Update X24H, your go-to channel for the latest news, hottest dramas, breaking stories, and all the buzz from the world of entertainment. We're here to keep you updated, entertained, and always in the loop. Hit that subscribe button and join our growing family, because here at Update X24H, we bring you the news that matters, the drama you love, and the stories you can't miss. Thanks for being part of our community. Let's stay connected, stay updated, and keep the good vibes rolling. What if I told you? Two of China's biggest stars may be communicating through their clothes. Not words, not posts, but colors, styles, and perfectly timed appearances. Lu Yuning and Zuer, once just co-stars, are now sparking whispers of something deeper. And it's not just fan speculation anymore. The evidence is mounting. Collision. This might be the most subtle love story we've seen in years. It began as a throwaway clip pulled from a backstage security feed. 30 grainy seconds destined to disappear in the endless churn of fan edits. Instead, those seconds detonated across timelines because of an uncanny symmetry. Lu Yuning entered a narrow service corridor first, skyscraper tall. His sky blue shirt drifting behind him like a sail catching morning light. He was alone, humming under his breath, absent-mindedly brushing a silver bracelet that flashed whenever he moved. 30 paces later, the echo of heels announced Zuer. She rounded the same corner wearing the identical shade of blue, a whisper-thin blouse cut from the same fabric family, paired with minimalist black trousers that matched his to the fold. She too raised a hand to her wrist, touching a bracelet so alike it felt impossible. The brand, a boutique Milanese label that produces fewer than 100 pieces a year, was not something stylists receive by accident. The hallway's fluorescent strip lights, usually cruel, softened as if conspiring with them. The security camera, indifferent to romance, captured a fleeting glance when Lu looked back and his shoulders relaxed, and another when Zuer's eyes lifted and a private smile unfurled. There was no dialogue, yet viewers sensed a conversation spoken in color, metal, timing. Fans replayed the footage frame by frame, mapping trajectories, measuring shadows, calculating odds, concluding that chance had long exited the frame. In a passage built for cables and crates, two lives intersected with the quiet certainty of choreography. Proof to millions watching from Seoul cafes to Paris dorm rooms that love sometimes announces itself in the hush between footsteps. Within hours, journalists were phoning stylists, statisticians were computing probabilities, and language professors were debating whether clothing could form a syntax of desire. What began offline had become a lecture in closeness broadcast worldwide. The hallway footage did not stand alone for long. Within hours, fans began excavating earlier appearances and discovered that the sky blue shirts were merely the latest tile in a mosaic laid over months. The first traceable instance dated back to a live stream in March, when Lu Yuning joined an after-work chat wrapped in a dusty peach hoodie. Minutes later, Zuer dropped into the same stream from a different studio wearing precisely the same shade. Most viewers dismissed it as a cute accident, but a handful screen captured the moment and filed it away. April offered fresh evidence. An airport sighting on opposite sides of the country, both in charcoal cargos that carried an identical, barely visible monogram. By May, the coincidences accelerated. A rehearsal leak showed them rehearsing different scenes hours apart. Yet both wore vanilla white shirts from an independent Osaka label famous for one-season runs of 90 pieces. When June delivered a paparazzi snapshot of Lu leaving a cafe at dawn, the camera flashed across a burnt orange cap stitched with a minimalist Z. 2 days later, Zuer posted a workout selfie in the mirror of a Seoul hotel gym. Her phone, half obscured, reflected a water bottle stickered with a stylized Y. The fandom responded like open-source investigators. One group built a color-coded timeline, mapping photographs to Pantone references and importing them into a spreadsheet that spanned 3 continents in 65 calendar days. Another ran probability models, feeding brand rarity and appearance frequency into a Monte Carlo simulation that concluded there was less than a 1 in 8 million chance of such recurrence without intention. Fashion analysts joined the conversation, pointing out that several overlapping items, especially a limited-run Milanese bracelet, a Parisian silk scarf, and those Osaka shirts, are distributed only through private showroom appointments, meaning stylists could not have accidentally pulled them from the same media rack. Meanwhile, behavioral psychologists reminded interviewers that sartorial mirroring is a well-documented expression of rapport, often surfacing in couples before either party consciously recognizes their attachment. Yet the pattern bled beyond clothes. Music-savvy followers noticed both artists silently liked the same obscure altar and beat track at almost the same second on a streaming platform that does not auto-push songs to public feeds. The odds of simultaneous discovery were vanishingly small. Fitness buffs noticed matching smartwatch bands switched on the same weekend. Literary fans spotted a first-edition novella about secret correspondences, photographed in Lu's study, and 3 weeks later perched on Zuer's nightstand during a makeup tutorial. Each fragment alone proved nothing. Woven together, they formed a quiet duet, as if two musicians were exchanging motifs across stages, trusting the audience to recognize the refrain. What began as a single blue ripple had revealed itself to be a deliberate rhythm, repeated, refined, and increasingly undeniable. Across Bangkok cafes, Vancouver dorm rooms, and Marseille living rooms, viewers felt the same breath-held anticipation. The sense that they were witnessing a dialogue stitched into fabric, curated in shared objects, and played out in real time. The pattern had become the message, and every new appearance threatened to complete, or complicate, the story everyone thought they knew. In the gilded theater of modern celebrity, few forms of speech remain truly private, yet fashion, mutable, symbolic, and ostensibly superficial, still offers a hidden frequency on which two people can converse beyond the reach of microphones. For Lu Yuning and Song Zuer, every shared hue or mirrored accessory seems less like a stylist's whim than a carefully tuned note in an unfolding sonata. Clothes, after all, are the first language we learn. Before we speak, we are dressed, and the world reads what we wear. When public figures are contractually bound to silence about their intimacies, fabric becomes parchment, color becomes ink, and a bracelet can hold the weight of a whispered vow. Observers often forget how coded garments already are in East Asian entertainment culture. A single shade of red may signal luck on a premiere day, while an unadorned white suit can silently pledge respect at a memorial. To fans schooled in these subtleties, Lu's decision to match Song's palette across half a dozen unrelated occasions is no accident. It is a repeated confession that slips past the censors of conventional press. There is poignancy in the restraint. They might post no photographs together, yet a Milanese bracelet with limited distribution appears on his wrist in Shanghai and hers in Seoul, stitching distance into togetherness. The object carries provenance, scarcity, and therefore intention. If a stylist supplied it to one artist, coincidence is plausible. If both receive it, intention amplifies. Such sartorial dialogue is not new. Think of silent film stars who exchanged pins shaped like shooting stars, or rock couples of the 70s who swapped leather jackets before stepping on separate stages. What sets Lu and Song apart is the precision with which they curate their motifs. They do not simply echo colors, they layer textures, her silk scarf echoing the sateen lining of his blazer, his minimalist trainers carrying the same tonal stitch found on her handbag strap. These choices read like enjambed lines in a poem, one picking up where the other falls away. Psychologists speak of affective synchrony, the instinct to mirror those we cherish. Most people sync footsteps on an evening stroll. Celebrities, scrutinized from every angle, must achieve similar harmony without ever walking side by side in public. Hence the choreography migrates to wardrobes. The result is romantic yet practical. A secret language that cannot be misquoted because it is not spoken, only worn. Even denial becomes difficult, for how does one dismiss what has never been alleged aloud? There is courage, too, in this sort of communication. To align so visibly is to gamble that viewers will understand the tenderness without weaponizing it. Each appearance becomes a trust fall. Will fans celebrate the connection or tear it apart? So far, global reaction leans toward celebration, as if audiences yearn for proof that sincerity can survive the spotlight. Fashion, then, is not mere decoration in their story. It is the safe house where affection shelters until words are permitted. And perhaps it suggests a larger truth. When conversation is perilous, love will dress itself, slip past the barricades, and still find a way to be seen. Body language doesn't lie. In joint interviews, Lu Yuning leans slightly towards Song Zuer, often without realizing. She, in turn, looks at him before answering questions, as if checking in silently. In one viral clip, he adjusts his sleeve while walking, glances over his shoulder. Moments later she arrives doing the exact same thing. Same rhythm. Same ease. Same vibe. Brain behavioral experts say this type of unconscious mirroring often happens between people emotionally in sync. Recently, fans uncovered even more subtle clues. A shared Spotify playlist they both liked within minutes. A blurry reflection in Lou's vlog that resembles song Zuer's phone wallpaper. Matching emojis used in IG captions posted just hours apart. And here's something nobody saw coming. At a recent charity gala, Lou Yuning auctioned off a painting. The title? The One Who Knows Without Words. The crowd clapped. But fans cried. Maybe this is more than style. Maybe it's a story. A connection hidden in shadows, stitched into seams, and revealed only to those willing to look closer. Speech balloon, are they in love? We can't say for sure. But we can say this. Their story, whether friendship or romance, is one that resonates deeply, across languages, borders, and generations. If this story touched you even a little, don't keep it to yourself. Globe showing Europe, Africa, share it with someone who believes in connections that go beyond words. Bell, and don't forget to subscribe to Update X24H for more stories that reveal the truth behind the spotlight. We appreciate you being here, truly. Red Heart, stay curious, stay inspired, and always look beneath the surface.